Hey, there we go again. At this time, we are going to be tackling the vocabulary. Okay, again, this is going to be just an introduction to the first contact to the vocabulary list. Here we have 7, but this is just a section of the unit. This is unit 1. So, for example, first thing you do, you look through the list, okay, and you see the words that are being offered. Here you can see that most of them are countries, right? And some expressions and some random common nouns. The same thing you did with the book, you're going to do with the vocab list. Just ask yourself, what do I know in this list? So let's start here. Salam alaikum. I already know that. So it's one less item in the list. Wa alaikum salam is the reply to that. Okay, no problem. Then we have slightly different here. De Khodai pe aman. De Khodai pe aman. Khodai pe aman. This is their version for goodbye or farewell. What do I understand here? Okay, from Persian you can recognize this word here, Khoda, which is the word for God. Okay, so basically it's something like God grant you safety or something like that. So may the safety of God be upon you, or bless you with safety or something like that. I still don't know the intrinsic parts of Pashto, but I already know this word. That helps. Then we keep on reading. So Uzbekistan, Australia, Afghanistan, Amman. Amman, the first time I read this word, I thought it was the capital of Jordan, but it is not. It's the word for safety, which could as well be the same word for the capital of Jordan. I'm going to figure that out, but at least I already can connect Amman to Jordan. So I think safety in Amman, I will remember this as just simple mnemonics. Okay, then you have America and Indonesia. Remember, this is one thing that I can remember that I learned, is that this little ball under the letter, you have a here and you have a here, turns the letter retroflex. Retroflex is when you curve your tongue backwards to make the sound, and I'm going to make a video about that so you can understand better. So Amman, America, Indonesia, Englistan. Englistan is an interesting name they give to England. So is Englistan is the land of English. Obe, Iran. This is the same way in Persian and Arabic. Then you have Brazil. Brazil, of course, my country. And this is actually the first Middle Eastern language book that I see with Brazil for some weird reason. Anyway, here you have Baluchistan. Baluchistan. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm guessing I'm going to find out pretty soon. Okay, continuing. You have Baluchistan, Pakistan, Turkmenistan, Khudai. Khudai, God. Remember I mentioned before? Khudai. In Persian, you don't have this ye at the end, but this is probably holding a grammatical function right here, because in Persian this helps with the possessive. Here you have Russia, Richard is a name, right? Then you have city, or saray. Saray, there are no vowels, so it's kind of hard to read. I cheated looking at the romanization. Sindh, Khar, Faransa, Kabul. That's a city in Afghanistan. It also helps if you kind of take a look on a map and try to get semi-familiar with the names of the places, just so you can recognize geographic spaces. Okay, so just finishing up, we have Kabul, the city, Canada, which is the country, Kor, which is house, then Cuba, another country, Wanna, which is tree, and Herat, which is another city in Afghanistan. Okay, so as you can see, when you have country names, for example, like Iran and Brazil, you have a pretty close transcription of the name. So how you read with the Arabic script is basically the same as with the original name. So you have names of cities and countries and people. So you can draw on this to help you learn the written system in case you don't already know. For me particularly, I find it much easier to practice with country names and proper names to get a hold of the script system. So this is a good way for you to start. Okay, so this is the introduction to the vocabulary and some ways for you to recognize how much you know of it. Although I'm against romanization, when you have introduction to vocabulary, I believe romanization is really good because it helps you to know how to pronounce them, especially in this book, which doesn't have the vowel markings on the words like sometimes they have in Arabic and Persian. Since it doesn't have it, the romanization will do the trick. Okay, so I'm going to show other ways to get vocabulary down and exercise, and I'll try to make little shots of how I practice the vocabulary. Okay, so this was just a brief introduction, and I'll see you on the next video. And I can start saying the Rodai Peyman, which is goodbye.